What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with Tactical Gaming, bringing you guys another Marvel Rivals video. Now, by the title, you can see tanking is dying in like it, and what I'm gonna reference to is mainly comp. Okay, quick match. Like you still see 2 tanks, 3 tanks. Not so much in comp. Okay. And the reason why tanking is dying is multiple different things. One of them is the community, right? And a part of that community is all those big streamers and content creators who literally swear up and down you can win any match with nothing but DPS and healers. You don't need tanks. Tanks are useless. Tanks are like boring, yada yada yada, right? They're constantly talking down on tanks and basically telling every common player or anyone who's never played Marvel Rivals that tanking's unnecessary. Tanks are useless. Tanks are either overpowered or just underpowered, which I mean with the amount of nerfs tanks keep getting is kind of like what's the point of a tank, right? For people like me who primarily I went into this game when it first came out, right? I played DPS, I tried all the characters, played DPS characters, all that, right? Didn't really have like a solid character I like playing until I fully got into playing in Season 6 when Deadpool was released, right? And majority of that time I played tank pool, right? Until I came to the realization on that you just have to switch either to heal pool or DPS pool. But I mainly play tank, and then I started playing other tanks, and then started spreading out to playing like healers and DPS, and found out that I like playing all the roles. But while playing, especially in comp, I came to the realization that very rarely will you come across people who will choose tank. Right? Like usually because usually this is what I do when I go into a match, right? I usually wait to see who picks what first, usually. And I do that to see what am I gonna have to pick, right? And it's usually always tank, right? I'm usually always having to play tank because no one else will. I've solo tanked so much in this game, and it drives most tank players crazy. Now, for me, I don't mind solo tanking as long as my team is doing their jobs, right? My healers are healing, my DPSs are backing up me as well as the healers, right? But usually what you see every single time in this game is you see trip freaking DPS get picked, right? You instantly see 1 to 2 DPS instantly, like within the very first second of character choice is a DPS is selected, right? And then usually a healer will get selected, and then the third DPS, and then another healer. And it's like, okay, so no one's gonna go tank. Great, right? Now, the funny thing is, the reason why most tank players are quitting the game is because all these people who are literally choosing DPSs, trip DPSs and dual healers, or trip healers and dual DPSs, they get mad at the tank player for choosing the tank they want to play. Knock that shit the fuck off, because eventually you're gonna come across very few lobbies where motherfuckers are actually gonna play tank at all, and or you're gonna come across a person like me and I'll just literally ignore your ass or fucking voice chat mute you to the point where I can't hear you or even see your shit in freaking chat, right? I literally do that because I'm going to play the tank I want to play. If I have to play tank, if I'm being forced to play tank and not play one of the other characters that I have lorded, right? Whether it literally be, which I don't have very many other characters lorded other than tanks, which shows you how often I'm forced to play tank. A lot, right? Tank. I lorded him as a healer. Tank. Healer. But yeah, these are all the characters that I usually play as for the most part, and or ones I want to get up, right? Or and level up. Tank. Tank. DPS. Tank. So I play tank. right? So I'm the kind of person that will literally choose the tank I want to play. Now, if I'm a solo tank and let's say I play Venom, I'm not going to sit there and be a dick and leave my team hanging right high and dry with no one being in the front line pushing. I will play a frontline tank with a Venom, with a Thor, with anybody that's a tank. Because any tank can be a frontline tank. You just need to know how to use their move sets. And just hope to all the gods above that you don't have a retarded team base that don't understand, hey, we have one tank, they are frontlining, so however many healers or DPSs we have, they have to make sure that they are backing up their solo tank, so their solo tank continue to push and not stay stagnant and stayed in one area or get pushed back. Because you as a solo tank, you have 1 to 2 jobs, and that is to literally stay where you are and or push. As soon as you start getting pushed back, you are losing ground, and that's going to be hard to recapture, especially if you're a solo tank. Unless you know to sit there and like dive the back line to then go and help your other team, which then at the same time, because I've had to do this as a solo tank, which drives me even more crazy, because then you get yelled at for trying to dive their back line to gain attention from the enemy team, so they turn around to go after you so that your team can then start pushing forward. But the ironic thing when it comes to that is the majority of the time, for some reason, they don't push forward. They go, oh, well, you left us. I didn't leave you. I sacrificed myself so that you can then start eliminating the enemy team because they turned around to focus on me. You literally had backs to you. You could have eliminated the enemy team and moved forward while I got eliminated. Oh, but you're the only tank. You shouldn't have done that. You should have stayed with us. Are you kidding me? That's not how it works. And clearly you've never tanked if you're telling somebody that. Because as a tank player, you either defend your team and help them progress, or sometimes you have to do the sacrificing role, which is, as a Venom, or maybe a Thor, dive the enemy backline so that they can focus on you and not your team, and your team can progress. And that right there is why tanks are quitting the game. Because one, majority of people are forcing tank players to play a specific tank, and that's Mag. Despite the fact that people continuously want Mag to be, like, nerfed. Like literally, they want all tanks to be nerfed. You guys keep nerfing tanks or asking tanks to be nerfed, is going to get to a point to where you're literally going to only have one tank player, if any at all. And then not only that are you going to have one or none, you're going to come across a tank player who's literally probably going to just voice chat ban everybody, and I mean like just mute everybody in their thing as soon as y'all say something, because it's maddening to hear a bunch of people who don't play tank, who've never played tank, who don't know how to tank at all, sit there and try to tell a tank how to tank. It's like, if you've never played tank, keep your opinions to yourself. It's kind of like if someone's never played DPS or healer, and this is why, in my opinion, you should be flexing, if anything at all. Right? Especially if you've been playing this game a long time. How are you not a flex player? How do you not sit there and have multiple different characters lorded or practiced with in every single role type? Like, how have you not done that? I have only played this game solidly from Season 6 till Season 9. So that's like, what, 3 or 4 seasons? And I am a flex player. I have played every role, and I have found the characters I like to play as. Right? Now, the thing is, anytime I play comp, I'm forced to play 2 type of roles usually. Either the healer, because I got lucky and someone actually chose tank, or 2 tanks, right? Which is very rare if I get 1 or 2 tanks before I even choose. Because usually it goes about to where, like, it goes DPS, DPS, healer, or it goes triple DPS straight out the gate, and then healer, healer, tank. It's like, okay. But tanking is dying, and one part, community. Okay? And part of that community, like I said, is the big top name streamers and pro players who sit there and swear up and down that you don't need tanks. The other thing that's killing it is these right here. Okay? Majority of the time, when you get these right here, your challenges, your majority of your challenges are always having to do with something about being a duelist and healing. Sometimes it's literally play as a duelist and then do complete matches. Right here, the devs themselves are literally, now granted, you can refresh this, right? You can switch this. Watch, I'll show you what I mean. Right? Refresh, right? Refresh attempts 3. So you can choose to refresh this and change these. But you only get 3 of those. And if you keep getting ones that you don't want, then there's kind of no point. You see what I mean? But it's right here. The devs themselves, with the way they keep releasing DPS, 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 in every single season almost, except for this one where we got literally a healer, and now we're getting a tank, right? Last season was tank and DPS. The season before that, right? So what was the characters before that? Oh, it was White Fox and Black Cat. Healer, DPS. It was tank, DPS. Technically, Deadpool's all 3 roles, but still. And even then, if you want to count that, they got 2 DPSs in that fucking time. So season 6 was a dual DPS release, even if you count like him being a healer and a tank, right? But literally 2 DPSs in that one. Like every single season, except for this one, right? Except for season 9 and 9.5 has been DPS, DPS, DPS. And that right there is the issue. Oops. That is the issue on why so many people choose DPS, right, over Vanguard, because this is your selection of Vanguards. And if you play comp, this is the Vanguard they want you to play. This one or this one. They get really pissy if you're a solo tank and you're playing any one of these other ones other than Doctor Strange or Mag, because they have a shield that can like regenerate and protect the team, despite the fact that the team doesn't want to actually help the tank progress forward. Which is why majority of tank players are starting to either not play tank, or they're saying, fuck it, I'm gonna play the tank I want to play, because I'm not gonna sit here and not enjoy myself in some way, shape, or form. Right? Which is what I try telling everybody and anyone. Okay? You want to play a character, play that character. Right? And this goes for any role type. Vanguard, duelist, strategist. It does not matter. If you want to play a character, right? If you want to play Widow, play Widow. If you want to play Psylocke, play Psylocke. If you want to play Jeff or Dino or any character, but everyone's like swearing up and down that that's the worst character ever, but you're good with that character, play the character. As long as you are good, and as long as you're contributing to your team and helping with the team effort of winning, most people ain't gonna give a shit. But that is kind of why the majority of the issue you're having with people just quitting tanking, because when you solo tank, you're forced to play a tank that you don't want to play. Right? Which, I mean, is a part of your own choice, right? If you are forcing yourself to play a tank you don't want to play as a tank player, you're a part of the issue. Stop playing a tank you don't want to play. Now, granted, if you want to win, and you know that playing this character is going to help you win, you also can't complain that you're playing a character that's going to help your team win. Now, what you should be focusing on is the lack of effort you're getting from your other teammates who refuse to switch or help you as the tank. And that right there is where I can see people massively getting upset, because it's like, hey, you know that this is going to help your team win, and you're choosing to bite the bullet. That shows that you have more more actual integrity, more actual teamwork, and more of a mindset of the game than all these other people. And you should look at it like, oh, hey, I'm the positive outlook on this game. These motherfuckers ain't, right? And you should just be like, well, you know what? I'm gonna contribute. And then when all these people want to like say some shit, it's like, hey, I was solo tanking, or I was solo this, and you know, I was doing my job. I was contributing. What were y'all doing, right? Now, granted, you can sit there and come out completely and totally respectful. If you have any kind of like hint of like, you know, anger in your voice, you might get in trouble with voice chat banning or people reporting you in some way, especially if it's like a whole team of babies, which for some reason tends to be a thing, right? You either get one big old baby or almost an entire team of big old babies. It is crazy. It is crazy. But yeah, that is why tanking is now dying in Marvel Rivals, especially in Season 9, which is funny considering in 9.5 we're getting fucking a new tank. And I have a funny feeling that people's like whole mentality is going to change on tanks, or all the tank players who are bitching and complaining about solo tanking aren't going to be as upset because they're going to get, you know, a whole new tank, the Hood. And he's probably going to be one of the most actually broken tanks that we've gotten in a while. Because, I mean, people want to say Devil Dino was broken. He wasn't broken. Like, oh, well, he can absorb so much damage. Yeah, motherfucker, he's a goddamn dinosaur. Like, he's a fucking dinosaur. Much like how the best way to take care of his shield is go up to it with a melee attack, it's the same thing with this dude. Either shoot him with a gun from a distance, or go to his haunches and attack him. He has his weaknesses, and everyone who plays this game and swears up and down that Dino was broken are all fucking retarded. They are, because he was not hard to beat. He wasn't. But they still nerfed the shit out of him. They got rid of his fucking grounding beam. They got rid of the amount of damage done by him. They fucking like nerfed his shield so his shield doesn't last as long, and it takes longer to come back. But thankfully, when they added the new team ups, they made him playable again. But people still swear up and down he's unplayable, even though he isn't. He's very playable. You just have to be smart with him now. You literally have to hide behind buildings and do all this other kind of shit that you do with other characters instead of running out like a goddamn mobile tank that he's supposed to be. Right? They nerfed him out of existence almost. And it's the same thing with every other Vanguard in this game. Okay? Like every Vanguard in this game, like once they come out with the nerfs, and they're talking about a universal nerf for all tanks. Oh my god. You think tanking is bad now? Oh man, just wait until people just up and go, well, you know what? Tanks continuously get nerfs. We continuously get to the point to where we're unable to play the characters we want to play, or we have to deal with the stupid BS that we have to deal with, getting blamed for the team not winning, even though, like, it's a team game, team effort, it's not just one person who caused the team to lose, right? But the community and the way the devs are going about it when it comes to releasing tanks, releasing their ability slots, releasing how their abilities work, how often you can use your abilities, with the fact that you can spam abilities as a duelist is exactly why people play duelist. Because you can sit there endlessly spam your abilities almost, depending on the character, because they come back so quickly. Right? It's the same thing with strategists. You can do so many of your abilities over and over and over and over and over again, depending on the ability and the character. But when it comes to a Vanguard, you're hit with one of the highest fucking time waits ever when it comes to using your abilities. Especially if you're a shield tank, right? And your whole role is to be shielding. Your shield shouldn't take a long time to come back. Now, Emma's shield was like one of the best ones that come back like the quickest, right? But even then, most people don't consider her a shield tank. Even though she has technically two shields that she can utilize depending on what team up you use. But shield tank, right? Now granted, he has a shield for tanking, right? He has a shield for tanking, but he's more of like a dive tank or whatever. And I mean, now granted, each tank also has a sub role that they can play, much like every other like DPS strategist. But still, it comes down to if they keep releasing tanks with lackluster ability slots, like the way their abilities work and how often you can even use your abilities, yes, you are going to have less and less people play tank. And then when it comes to comp, you're going to have less and less people wanting to play tank because for some reason the community demands Mag or Doctor Strange once you hit a certain level in comp. Once you get past Gold 3 and into Gold 2 and Gold 1 and all those other higher ranks, it is nothing but Doctor Strange and Magneto that the entire team calls for. They're like, oh, we need a Mag or we need a Strange. It's like, then choose Mag or Strange. I don't play tank. Then why are you asking for a Mag or Strange if you don't want to play tank? Or you don't play tank, because that's the best one to have. Like, you play tank, so you should play the Mag or Strange. It's like, I don't play Mag or Strange. Well, you should. You're a tank player. It's like, I'm a flex player. I play everything. Well, on here it shows you played majority tank. Yeah, because I've been forced to. Like, the stupid conversations I've had with people in this game from this community is just insane. And it's like, have you ever played tank? No. Then why are you saying anything? If all you play is healer or DPS, why are you saying anything and why are you telling me, well, anytime I've ever had a Mag or a Strange in my team, we've won. It's like, and? Well, if you want to win, that's the one you gotta choose. Well, the thing is, I'm not gonna choose a character I'm not used to, good with, or even want to play in comp. I will play one of my lorded vanguards. I'll play Captain America. No, Cap sucks. What? Cap sucks. How does Cap suck? It's like, okay, I'll play Rogue. No. Rogue got nerfed. It's like every tank got nerfed. And it's like because of people like you on why tanks keep getting nerfed. So it's like it's the community, the biggest reason, and then literally the devs going, well, the community doesn't like this, the community is complaining about that. So and sadly, the majority of the Rivals community are baseless DPS players who have no brain in their fucking head, and all they want to do is go out there with their main character syndrome brain and go, I'm gonna get the maximum amount of eliminations of my entire team, and I'm gonna be the best player ever. That's literally what it is. And it makes tank players go, well, if I'm solo tanking, I better have a good set of team members. I better be getting heals, because if I'm not getting heals, this isn't gonna go very well. Because if there's a solo tank, that solo tank better get majority of the heals. Because if not, you ain't progressing. And that's exactly why you don't progress when there's a solo tank in your team. It's not the tank's problem. Now, granted, you might have a sucky tank, which does happen. But, once again, team game, if all the heals are going to your DPSs and not your solo tank that is supposed to help you progress and move forward, you have failed as a healer. So, and that's where I literally tell people, the structure of your team, the people you choose, and how your team works depends on how fast you can progress or how little you're going to progress. And I've been on plenty of teams where where our teamwork was on point and we progressed rapidly and we won. And then I've been on teams where we progressed very slowly but still won. And then I've been on teams where motherfuckers were doing their own goddamn thing, healing whoever, but not really healing the people who were actually trying to push forward or whatever. So, like, the team were scatterbrained, right? They weren't consolidating, they weren't focusing fire, they weren't doing nothing. Lost. Crazy. So, the thing is, if you are one of those people who refuse to tank, you're part of the issue. If you're one of those people who does not flex play, meaning you aren't willing to switch because you're not doing good, you're a part of the issue. And if you are a person who does not understand that this is a team game, you're a part of the issue. And all of these culminations that I've talked about are why you're seeing one tank player in your comp matches. One. Because they're tired of being forced to play a Strange or Magneto. Because they just don't want to. And then when they do want to, we're constantly getting hit with nerfs. It's like, just leave tanks alone. Like, I was watching a fellow content creator talking about how, like, how the biggest problem is DPS characters. And I would agree, because majority of DPS characters do the same fucking thing. They act like they're player number one. They are, like, you know, hero of heroes, whatever. They have that mindset of, I'm MVP, even though I might not be MVP. Kind of like shit. It's like, no. This is a team game. You can't sit there and blame one person, the tank. You can't blame you have to blame the whole team. Okay? That's not how it works. And then when it comes down to people refusing to play tank because they're sick and tired of dealing with, like, the team dynamic of three healers or 3 DPSs, but yet the healers aren't healing and the DPSs ain't DPS, and it gets to the point to where, well, you can't be mad at the solo tank then. Especially the solo tank is repeatedly dying over and over again because there's 3 healers and the healers aren't healing the tank. I've been that tank where I was solo tanking, was getting no heals. Like, none. DPSs were getting heals, DPSs were getting eliminations, but we weren't moving nowhere. And people proceeded to blame me as the solo tank because of who I was playing. And because we weren't able to move forward. It's like, well, every single time I'm frontlining, the DPSs are getting heals. Where are the heals at? Like, I need heals. Oh, you're getting heals? Oh, really? I'll review the VOD and, it does not seem like I'm getting any heals whatsoever. One little, like, swipe of a heal thing that gives me a little bit of health is not healing me. You want to progress forward, you need to give me a constant amount of heals. Either 1 healer, 2 healers. We have 3 healers. If we have 3 healers, I should not be dying so quickly. But that lies the issue. So, don't be surprised. Now, granted, it's probably, like, it's going to be a long time coming, depending also. But with the release of the Hood in the coming season, 9.5, I don't see tanking dying, but it is becoming extinct. Very slowly but surely, because of the community, the devs, and just the way these people act when it comes to, like, treating the tank community. Even just people who play nothing but tank. Like, there's people who want to try to become a flex player, but they can't when it comes to comp because of the fact that they're forced to play one role, right? So, try to understand and put yourself in a tank player's shoes. And if you don't understand, start playing tank to see what they fucking mean. Because when you play solo tank, it's not unbearable all the way up until you come up with some shitty-ass teammates. But I digress. That's going to be it for the video. It's going to be interesting for, like, you know, the Hood coming out. Depends on how they do his movesets. He might be one of the most dynamic tanks ever. Meaning, like, probably has one of the coolest movesets ever. But at the same time, that is going to depend on if he ends up being, like, a basic tank, like every other tank, or if they actually give him something that no other tank has except for Deadpool, which is, because Deadpool is triple role, right? So unless they make him a triple role player or give him some kind of, like, DPS style, like, moveset, and I'm not meaning, like, oh, he's going to do massive amounts of damage. No, I just mean make his moveset interesting, fun to play, dynamic, and engaging. Such as, oh, hey, he has this that comes back every 5 seconds, which is majority of almost any cooldown for a DPS character. Almost any. Now, that's not every ability, but majority of DPS characters' abilities, whether it be, like, they're evasive or whatever, is almost every 5 seconds. That's quick as crap compared to like a tank, which is like every 10 or every 8 or every 12. But yeah, hopefully they start making tanks more dynamic. They start releasing more tanks, because with less and less tanks to have, even though, yeah, we have this amount now. We have 14 tanks to choose from. Yay, compared to what we have for DPS. But yeah, tanking's going extinct. It's slowly dying. It really sucks. I love playing tank. I will always play tank, so that's like, I'm never gonna not play tank. But still, it, as a tank slash flex player, it just drives me crazy to see this community belittle tanks so much, to the point where majority of people who claim to love tanking just don't want to tank no more just because of it. So I digress. Hopefully you all enjoyed this. Go check out W.GG. Use my code TacticalGaming90 and get 10% off. W is a zero sugar, non-jitter energy supplement company with zero crash, multiple different flavors, shakers, and all that other kind of stuff. Go check them out if you're a smaller creator much like myself. Check out their sponsorship program. Scroll all the way down onto their website. It's going to be at the bottom. Here within 15 minutes if you qualify. And they sponsor pretty much almost anybody, whether it's TikTokers, Instagrammers, YouTubers, Rumblers, whatever you be, they will sponsor you. Now, depends on your content. I touch up on a bit of fucking everything. I do unboxings, gaming, political shit, and just voice my opinion on shit I don't agree with. So, yeah. So go check them out. Link and all that's going to be down in my comment section, pinned comment, and or on my YouTube. W.GG, Tactical Gaming 90 is the code. Uppercase T, uppercase G, Tactical Gaming 90, one word. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Catch me for my next one, and hopefully start seeing more tanks in Marvel Rivals. I would love to see more tanks in Marvel Rivals. Maybe not Trip Tank, but no. I mean, at least 2 tanks. At least 2. That'd be awesome. No roll queue. Never ever want roll queue. Roll queue will kill this game. It really will. Just an FYI to anyone demanding roll queue. It will kill this game. It will. This game will die. No one's going to want to play this game if they're forced to have 2 tanks, 2 healers, 2 DPS. It's going to kill this game. But anyways, later guys.